Hello and good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. We're going to be trimming out windows in this video.
So in this house, there's already existing trim. I'm just doing addition. So this is where my master key comes in. This is what I am copycatting everywhere. So this is what the end product will look like.
So right here, I want my tape to be right on the very edge of the plastic of my window. And then, measure what I've got, which I've got 59, which I've got 59 and a half. Measure the plastic of the window to the plastic of the window, and I've got 47 and a half. So this is what a list of mine looks like. I've got my quantity, my height, my width, and the rip size of all my measurements. Some windows I have here are just a single window, but other windows I have here are these double windows, and their bottom sill will be one continuous piece. So on here, I've made a little circle with 2 marks to indicate it's one of those windows. And then just a single circle with a single mark are these windows.
There are some things we need to know first though, like how thick is our windowsill material? It is exactly 1 inch thick. The next thing we need to figure out is how thick is 2 pieces of our side material. Now, our side material is 3/4 inches thick, but actually not really. It's actually 1/16 less. So 2 pieces together actually end up being 1 3/8 inches. Now that we know those 2 bits of information, we can do some math now.
So I'm making my cut list here. It's pretty simple. So this is going to be my window here. So my sides are going to go the whole way down here. So my height measurement for my sides doesn't change because it's going to be full length. My width measurement, on the other hand, for my top piece is going to be this thickness of board and this thickness of board smaller, which in total is 1 3/8 inches. So I'm going to minus 1 3/8 inches from all of my numbers here. All of these numbers just more or less get transferred down to here. So 47 and a half comes to here, and then I've got 2 different windows, so that's 2, 4. So 4. 56 and a half, I've got 56 and a half here, here, and there. So count up all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Times 2 is 18 cuts. And my last one here, that's just 42 there. Now I'm going to start to list all these down, subtracting my 1 3/8 inches from them. Here's a fun trick I like to do sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect, and simple math can sometimes be hard. So what I like to do just quickly is I'll whip out my tape and lock it down. And so when I've got here 59 and a half, I'll find that 59 and a half. And then look at this. I'll just go down 1 inch and 3/8 inches. So now I've got 58 and 1/8. So now I can write that down. 58 and 1/8. So now I know that is 1 3/8 smaller than that guy. And it's not too complicated. And so then there's the rest of my cut list here for all of the tops of my windows. And these also will correspond with my sill as well once I get to cutting that. With my sill, I need to now figure out what the distance is between here and here. I'll double that, and then for this side, and then I can add that to the overall measurement of here for my sills.
Except it doesn't work on these double windows here because this is going to be too risky to try to do any math or whatever. So I take my square, and then I square out that part of the window, make a mark on the drywall. And from that spot over is 5 inches where my sill is going to go. 5.5 inches, excuse me, because I got like 3/4 of an inch here, and then my 1/4 inch reveal from here, and then my 4.5 inches to there, and then from there to there gets us our 5.5 inches. So from this mark to an identical mark I made over there, that's how I'll get my measurement here.
Here is my final cut list. I've got all my sides, all my tops, and all my sills marked out here for all my measurements. Now it's time to get started cutting. As I'm cutting this MDF, I like to cut 4 boards at the same time to maximize efficiency. I cut one edge to get them all exactly the same, also because I don't trust MDF edges. You always want to give yourself a nice new crisp cut edge on all boards you use for trimming. So I cut once going down, I move it over, I take a lot of time and care to make sure it's all nice and straight, and then I cut them all down. This way I'm cutting 4 boards with 1 cut. If you can do the math, that means I am 4 times faster cutting these boards.
Hey there. So, update, I got all my trim cut here.
I have all of my sides here, my tops right here, and my bottoms here. Now I'm going to go ahead and stack them all back on top of each other to make all my windows, and I'm going to get everything ripped so it's right size. All of my jambs are now cut, they are ripped. Now I am ripping my windowsill material. Here I am figuring out where the ears go for myself. There are 6-inch ears on the left side and the right side, so I mark those in from the edges, and then I double check that they're going to be the same as the top. Once I've gotten those marked out, I take the miter saw here and I get snipped through as far as I can. I can't make the whole thing go through, but I just get it started. And then I take it to the table saw here and then finish it out each way. Once I got that cut, I'm getting my jigsaw out. And I'm gonna finish off that mitered edge that didn't cut through the whole way. I like to use a miter saw to get me a nice square edge. I'm starting routering these windowsills, matching the existing. It's got an interesting look. I was hogging out a lot of material there, so I decided to take all of my boards through the table saw here and get them all off. I inched it forward until I just got it to the right depth for my router. You can see where my router is going to go there and how little material I'm going to be cutting off now. So very easily here, I rip them all down, and then on one nice smooth pass, I'm able to router out every single board. So I have all my bottoms done. The top is now. I'm doing I don't even know, man. I'm going to say a 1/2 inch round over bit on the top. And this comes and cleans this up in one swoop, no problem at all. So now I do that to all of them. This is the final look of my product. Yeah, it matches the existing quite well. I'm very happy with it. I make all the piles of all the windows, and then I have my helper take them all out to where they go. This is what my windows look like. I have shims everywhere that need to be put, and they sort of create this like wedged look design. That way when I make my window jamb, it just sort of slips in there and gets right up snug tight to those shims. and they're all spaced to the outside of that window plastic.
All right, now that we got our window is properly shimmed out in all of our locations. We have a shim where we need it to. Now we're gonna put together our window jamb here.
I like to use sawhorses when putting these together. As you're nailing here, make sure the bottom is flush everywhere. And as you're nailing, try to aim towards the bad side of your wood, just like that. That way if it pokes through, there's nothing to fix with spackle later or Bondo. Top, same exact thing. Just make sure the bottom is nice and flush. And I like to put in 3 nails in each one. And here's little Dingus Fletcher here nailing these things together without sawhorses. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I made it work, but yeah, just get some sawhorses. Anyway, now that these things are built, let's start slapping them in everywhere.
Now that this is in, I'll put a couple finish nails inside right where the shims are to hold it tightened in place.
Time for these legs to go on. I use a pin nailer to set these on. I like to leave a 1/4 inch space between where it goes and my jamb. Once both my sides are in, I like to double check that they are parallel, that they are the same measurement. And now I can go ahead and start cutting all my headers. So I'm using 5.5 inch tall things for the body of my headers, and then I have some crown that's gonna go on. So I cut a 45-degree angle on my one side of the crown, and then I just take the individual header piece of the window and I mark out where it sits on the crown piece like so, and I line up this side just like that. I think that's a pretty quick, fast way to just get an accurate measurement. So once I have that, I go ahead and cut that right on my intersection there. And yeah, I don't know if you've cut many 45s, but they can be really annoying if you mark the very, very short point or the very, very long point. So if you have a point in the middle, oh my goodness, you get super accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get all these cut, and then I got to start gluing them together. This is a 2-part glue I like to use. It is so fantastic. It's a CA glue. So you have a glue there and then a spray activator here. So you spray one side, glue one side, and then you just line up your pieces together ever so slightly. Push it, hold it, and in 3 seconds you can let go and it's holding. And in 30 seconds the glue fully cures. Oh, so nice. So I'm gonna batch out all of my headers here, gluing on all the sides for this bottom lintel piece and also all of my crown pieces. There's all my pretty cut corners, and I'm gonna do the same exact thing here. Finally, after all those 45 miter cuts and gluing, I am ready to nail these things together. I like to make my header in one uniform piece on the ground here. So I put on that bottom lintel piece with a 1/4 inch space on each side. I upgrade to a larger nail size for this thicker crown, and then I nail it straight down while making sure that it is nice and flush everywhere. One's cut, now poof, look at that. They're all done now. So now we can start distributing them out through the house and nailing them on. I like to use a smaller pin nail to nail trim to trim, and then I upgrade to a finish nail gun with 2.5 inch nails to get a really nice nail going through the drywall into a stud behind the wall. And that's it. Boom. Windows are all done. And that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, or If you don't like how what I did, let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you like to install trim. But yeah, this is how I've been doing it for many years, and I get really good results. So please make sure to like if you liked the video, and I'm making more videos. So subscribe for more. Have a good day.